It's cold or flu season again, and you know what that means. Yes, of course, the doctor's office. According to the World Health Organization, approximately 10% of the US population will contract influenza this year. Going further, 250,000 to 500,000 people worldwide will contract and die of the flu in any given year. These numbers are scary and quite staggering. You're watching The Number One Fact, and today I'm going to tell you some facts about going to the doctor's office and why those of us who have a fear of seeing the doctor may not be so illogical after all. The earliest written records that include practicing medicine are known as Hammurabi's Code, which dates back to 18th century BC. You would think after a few thousand years of practice, mankind would be better at treating illness. Or we could have at least found a cure for the common cold, right? Wrong. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, there were more than 48 million inpatient and general surgical procedures performed in the United States last year. 48 million is a big number, but what's interesting is the fact that during that same year, doctors of all specialties left sponges and other medical tools inside patients more than 6,000 times. If you weren't afraid of the doctors before, now might be a good time to reconsider. Okay, now this one seems like it came straight out of some kind of Dr. Frankenstein story or something, but it is 100% true. In 2005, Dr. Barry J. Marshall, a professor of clinical microbiology, wanted to prove his hypothesis that bacteria H. pylori did in fact cause stomach ulcers. So like any sane, logical person, he drank a culture of H. pylori, which did in fact cause him to have stomach ulcers. However, he successfully treated and cured his self-inflicted ulcers with antibiotics, proving his hypothesis and becoming a rock star in the medical community by winning the Nobel Prize that year. Talk about no risk, no reward. It was 1961, and the Soviet Union had sent their 6th expedition to Antarctica. The men were trained and prepared for everything. They had a man for navigation, and a man for security, and even a doctor, which was lucky considering one of the men ended up having appendicitis and needing an appendectomy. But have no fear, Rogozov is here. That is, unless the man in need of the surgery is Dr. Leonid Rogozov. And of course, I wouldn't be telling you this if the man in need of the surgery weren't the lone doctor on the expedition, with no other medical personnel around and being too far away from civilization for help to reach them in time. Dr. Rogozov did the surgery on himself, successfully removing his own appendix. That's right, he removed his own appendix, all in a day's work. Okay, so this is a near exact copy of my own handwriting, and if you have a hard time writing neat, well, this will definitely make you feel better. According to a 2016 report in the UK's News Independent, there are studies that show a messy desk, cursing, and poor penmanship indicate a high intelligence. So maybe, just maybe, that is why it's so hard to read your doctor's handwriting. I mean, it's a doctor, and therefore they must be smart, right? According to a Time.com article, over 1.5 million Americans are injured each year due to the doctor's poor penmanship, and another 7,000 die due to this. Intelligent or not, it may be time to write slowly. And this is the number one fact. At this point, nearly everyone has heard that the United States has an opioid epidemic, and there are a lot of people pointing fingers at who is responsible. Not me, it's your fault. Nah, it's you. No way. Wah, I'm telling. But here's a fact for you. In 2012, there were 12 states in the US where doctors wrote more prescriptions for opioids than there were residents in those states. Whose fault is that? Yikes. Thank you for watching, and if you really enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button. Until next time, this is the number one fact.